Angels spring training baseball this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium. The Angels get ready to take on the National League West Arizona Diamondbacks. It is a beautiful day today here in the Valley. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Our pleasure to be with you for Tuesday afternoon baseball. And Jose, the Angels pitching has been up and down a little bit so far this spring, but the last couple of starts we've seen from the Angels, boy, have they been good ones.
Oh, big relief for everybody here around camp, considering that just a couple of days, Terry, we're talking about guys scuffling, and the Angels haven't given up so many runs in bunches in 5 games. But just since then, who would have thought names like Nick Tropiano changing things around and going out there in surprise and going through a lineup, carving it up by doing one simple thing: working fast, working ahead, implementing the breaking ball early in counts, and just having a lot of guys guessing and missing a lot of barrels, as you can see here, running the fastball so well in and out and being able to set up guys after 0-1s. And then you go to a guy like Osmer Morales. Boy, this guy has been pitching professionally for 7 seasons, has never pitched in the big leagues. Last night, under the lights, terrific control. Enough of that fastball, great command, and certainly we talk about progression on the mound. Well, that means the unknown, perhaps, in those two leads to the guys that you're counting on. So also in minor league situations, control environment, Tyler Skaggs yesterday was outstanding, got to close of 90 pitches, and the day before, it was Garrett Richards who continues to line up the way it goes to be the Angels starter for opening day. So Mike Scioscia's got to be pleased from what he's seen from guys on the mound. The main guys also the guys providing some depth.
All right, still on the topic of starting pitching, we got some concerning information yesterday about Andrew Heaney. What's the latest on his situation?
It looks like it's going to be just a minor hiccup, as Mike Scioscia said, and for Andrew Heaney, elbow inflammation. Remember, he had that surgery July of 2016, and the best thing is that Angels general manager Billy Epler got the news from the doctors. He had the MRI here, then flew back to Southern California to get the test from the Angels doctors, and Billy says he likes what the doctors told him yesterday, and he's mindful and aware of what the process should be from here on for Andrew Heaney.
All right, that's the latest on Heaney. Today, we see another guy bidding for a spot in the Angels rotation. He's been up and down this spring, and that is Parker Bridwell.
Terry, I do believe this guy is better than the ERA and the numbers are showing here in Arizona. He has not had that movement that he needs in his pitches to go out there and get some bats to swing over the baseball, get a little more ground balls. I think overall, perhaps he's been trying too hard. The ball's been flattening out a little bit more, but we know Parker Bridwell is better than he's shown here. Now, the opportunity is there because with Heaney having the setback, we don't know how long that will be. Somebody, somehow, this week is going to crack that door somehow. Oh, I think we know that a guy that went 10-3 for you in the regular season has to have the edge leading into the regular season.
All right, we have to get into the offense, and we saw it last night for the Angels. 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Here's what I liked. The Angels pretty much know they have a deeper lineup. Now guys are working counts, getting on base. They're running the bases aggressively. Last night for the Angels, it took 1 inning of displaying patience, discipline, doing what you need to do in the batter's box, understanding what the pitcher's doing in front of you to the guy you're watching from the on-deck circle. And then, as the inning progresses, watch even with a reliever. How is he getting ahead? Eric Kingston's got to be very happy when he sees this. All the singles, nobody overswinging. They drove the ball well enough, and also better to me and to Angels fans, the base running was absolutely terrific all the way around. When you see the contribution 1 through 9, middle of the order, guys putting the ball in play, fighting off tough pitches with 2 strikes, it all led to 7 hits for the Angels with men in scoring position. Terry, let's hope that happens a whole lot here in 2018.
Yeah, we only have 4 games left. A guy who also is heating up, one of the Angel newcomers, Zach Cozart, and he will be in the Angels lineup here today against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So a beautiful day for baseball. We can't believe things are winding down here in the Cactus League. Angels and D-backs today. Parker Bridwell against Robbie Ray. That's the pitching matchup today here from Tempe Diablo Stadium. We get back, we'll have the starting lineups. We'll have the start of today's game. Angels and D-backs. It's next on Fox Sports.
And here we are once again, Tempe Diablo Stadium. Happy to be with you on Fox Sports. Also our simulcast on AM 830 Angels Radio, and Jose Mora with you with Terry Smith. It is absolutely gorgeous. The hometown Diamondbacks are visiting the Angels, and we are ready as the manager of the year in the National League, Torey Lovullo, in his starting lineups. And those are brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. For Torey Lovullo, David Peralta is leading off in left field. A.J. Pollock will bat second and center. Paul Goldschmidt is at first base batting third. Jake Lamb at third base batting fourth. Steven Souza Jr., he can really play gamer all the way around. Comes from Tampa Bay Rays in right field batting fifth. Ketel Marte is the second baseman batting sixth. Chris Herman, some pop for a catcher. Herman's the catcher batting seventh. Nick Ahmed is at shortstop batting eighth, and Robbie Ray is the pitcher today. The D-backs will utilize their pitcher to hit, and the Angels will utilize a designated hitter. And for the Angels and Mike Suchup, Ian Kinster at second, Mike Trout batting second at center field, Justin Upton in left field batting third, Zach Cozart at third base batting fourth, Cole Calhoun, Rojo is in right field batting fifth, Anderton Simmons, Simba is at shortstop batting sixth, Jeffrey Marte at first base batting seventh, Shohei Ohtani, designated hitter, will bat eighth, and batting ninth, Martin Maldonado. It's all set for Parker Whitwell against Robbie Ray.
And the first pitch today, it is chopped right to the Angels first baseman, and there to make the stop behind the bag is Jeffrey Marte, and just like that, one pitch, one out, we're underway. Unassisted put out. A.J. Pollock will be the next batter. Umpires this afternoon, Ramon DeJesus, Rob Drake, Adrian Johnson, and John Lipka, and Ramon DeJesus will be the home plate umpire. Our game time temperature, things warming up here in the valley, 76 degrees, and the first pitch was a couple minutes early today at 1:08.
How about that?
Threw your curveball, Jose.
Stayed back, though.
That's right.
Kept my hands back.
Well,
I put it in play, even though I made an out.
1 ball, no strikes to count here on A.J. Pollock. The quick-working Parker Bridwell on the mound. And the next pitch, it's popped in the air into shallow left center field. Going back is Simmons, the shortstop, battles the sun, makes the grab, and two are gone.
That's one of the few times where you see Anderton Simmons just hesitant to begin with. Tough to see the ball here. No clouds around, and as always, Simba comes up with a baseball.
So the batter is Paul Goldschmidt, who's having a nice spring, sitting over 300, couple of home runs for the D-backs. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one for a called strike. Angels have on the red tops and the white pants, and the D-backs have the desert red tops and the gray pants. And here's the next pitch. That one is low. Today's game on the Angels Baseball Radio Network, Fox Sports West, and also here locally today, Jose.
Our Fox Sports Arizona folks joining in.
Yep.
Always a warm salute to our colleagues, D-backs broadcasters.
Yep. Here's the 1-2, and that's a little bit low. Around the infield, the Angels have Marte playing first base, Kinsler at second, Kozar at third, with Simmons at short. In the outfield, Upton is the left fielder. He's a former D-back. Mike Trout is in center. Cole Calhoun in right. Martin Maldonado is catching. Shohei Ohtani is the Angels DH, and Parker Bridwell, 26 years old, on the mound. 2-2. And that's a swing and a miss. Got him. Goldschmidt is out, and Bridwell might have had his best inning so far this spring. He sets them down quickly and quietly here in the top of the first. The bottom of the first is next. No score from Tempe on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
It's Ram.
First batter up for the Angels is the Angels second baseman Ian Kinsler. Mike Trout and Justin Upton will follow against left-hander Robbie Ray. Ray was a 15-game winner last year for Arizona, 15-5, sub-3 ERA, made 28 starts for them, had a complete game last year. And here's the pitch. This is popped in the air into shallow right center. Coming in and making the grab on that one is Steven Souza Jr. So that's the first out. Both of these starting pitchers are fast workers, and we're off to a swift pace here today.
That's a good start. Well, Britwell made 8 pitches in that first inning.
Mike Trout was in the box. He's going to back out, and he's looking to slow down Ray, it appears, as he was ready to come in. Now Trout is positioned in the batter's box. Here's the first pitch, and that one is right in there around the infield for the D-backs. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Ketel Marte is the second baseman. Jake Lamb at third, and Nick Ahmed is the shortstop. Here's the next pitch. That's low and in. 1-1. In the outfield, they have David Peralta in left, A.J. Pollock in center. Steven Souza Jr. is the right fielder. Chris Herman is the catcher. No DH for the D-backs, and Robbie Ray on the mound, and their 9-hole hitter. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled off of Trout's foot or leg there, and he's hobbling around a little bit outside the batter's circle. Angels after this game will have just 3 remaining here in Arizona, including another one against the D-backs right here to wrap up the Angels Cactus League on Saturday. Angels will have a day off tomorrow, take on the Dodgers Thursday night, and then have the final 2 home games here at Tempe Diablo Stadium on Friday against Oakland, and Saturday the game mentioned against the D-backs. Here's the 1-2 on Trout. That misses high and outside.
Robbie Ray pretty much outstanding, especially against right-handed batters last year. 195 average. He's out of Brentwood, Tennessee, and he really has come into his own, going from a year where he went 8-15 to 15-5. Absolutely remarkable.
Throw a fastball. We've seen him hit 97 in the past. He has a slider, a good curveball, solid changeup.
That ground ball ratio is going to be around 41% or so. He's going to get it by people. 218 strikeouts last year.
He averaged well over a strikeout an inning, and the next one on Trout, he takes that one low. So the count on Mike Trout full. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Good to see a guy like Robbie Ray put it together. The talent, the arm, and then the mechanical issues that affected him early in his career. Came up with the Detroit Tigers, and just putting together the bottom half with everything else so that arm slot is consistent and efficient.
3-2 delivery. It's hit hard, but back to the seats past the third base dugout. Had some fans scattering for cover there, and it's still 3-2. Ray was an all-star last year for the D-backs, first-time all-star.
If you look at his setup, as I'm talking about, is to find that balance with his body to begin with from the windup, and he's got as wide a base as you will see around the big leagues nowadays. The way his legs are stretched out and spread out, and also his both toes pointing towards home plate.
Again, a 3-2 on Trout, and that is ball 4. Fastball high and away, so Mike has a walk. 2014 season. Here's the pitch. First one is on the outside part of the plate, called strike. Part of the plate, called strike. Justin Upton now lives here in the Valley, lives in Scottsdale. Holding the bag over at first base, Paul Goldschmidt. And a lob toss over there. Trout is back. It's two real good players over there near that first base bag.
There's some good company and good baseball IQ out there in first base. Power, average, on base, slugging. They can both also steal a base for you.
Can't go wrong with either one of those guys.
And feel their position.
Here's the pitch. That one is taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Upton. Dimensions here at Tempe Diablo, 340 down the left field side, 420 to dead center. Way down the right side it goes 360. It's deep out there, and it's deep in the alleys here at Tempe Diablo Stadium, 400 feet left center and right center. 1-1 pitch. That's chased and missed. 1-2 the count.
Robbie Ray too also became a big scare when he was hit on the side of the head by a line drive last July. Eventually going on the concussion disabled list, and a huge scare for the D-backs, for himself, for his family, and good to see the way he bounced back.
Here's the 1-2 on Upton, and it misses a little bit in. Robbie Ray broke into the big leagues with Detroit. That was in 2014, and then came over to the D-backs. Part of a deal that also involved Doug Fister. He went over to Detroit in that deal, and Ray's first year with the D-backs was 2015. Here's the next pitch, the 2-2 delivery, and that is in there, and Upton knew it. Fooled him right there. Off speed pitch. Struck him out looking. That's the second out.
It's a great job setting him up. Stuff hard in the zone upstairs, and just all of a sudden taking something off and rolling a beautiful breaking ball into that inner corner.
So the batter now is Zach Cozart. Ray ready, and the lefty's pitch fouled back just above us, out of play. Cozart's been heating up. He's hitting over 300 this spring.
He got off to a slow start. Timing was not there. Getting used to the whole environment, surroundings. And you can see, as simple as the approach is nowadays, it just did not take him a whole lot to get back to the big part of the diamond to get him going in the right direction.
Here's the next pitch, and Cozart takes that one for a ball. Angels are hoping that Cozart supplies some power. And kind of interesting to note, he hit more home runs than Albert Pujols last year.
Hit 24 home runs, and they were well spread too. It's not because he was playing in cozy Cincinnati. He hit 12 at home and 12 on the road.
Here's the 1-1, and that's on the outside corner. That's a called strike.
Hit over 330, in fact, against left-handed pitchers. And as of right now has passed the few tests that he's had on tough plays at third base, including one yesterday with a bunt play where he had to make a decision to let the ball roll. It's one of those things, Terry, that perhaps, you know, seems meaningless at that time, but those are the things he has not had to deal with at shortstop.
Ray just fired over to first base. Trout had a dive back to the bag. Cozart has a reputation of being a pretty good two-strike hitter. He has 2 strikes on him here. We'll see what happens in this at bat. There goes Trout, 1-2 delivery, and that one is high, and no throw by the catcher Herman, and that'll be an easy stolen base for Mike Trout.
It almost looked like Herman was trying to provoke the contact from Cozart in the batter's box. We'll start leaning towards Cozart, and quickly saw home plate umpire Ramon de Jesus says, nope, it's all good, all clean.
So Trout steals the base against the lefty, and now a base hit with 2 outs would likely bring in Mike Trout. We'll see what happens as Cozart awaits the 2-2. Calhoun would be up next. Here's the pitch, and that one there is waved at and missed. Ball dropped by the catcher. Herman picks it up to complete the strikeout with the throw to first, and the inning is over. So a pair of strikeouts for Robbie Ray, and the Angels leave Trout at second as the inning comes to an end. We go to the second here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. There's no score on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
The Coyotes are on their final long road trip of the season.
Jake Lamb leads it off for the D-backs. First pitch he was taking, it was in there for a strike, and there's one that's fouled off to our left back upstairs and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Lamb, Souza Jr. and Marte, the batters for Arizona here as we start the second inning, a scoreless ball game. Bridwell's next delivery, and that is a pitch right there he was checking on. Counts 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You talk about the best inning he's had in spring training. Totally agree with you. Only 8 pitches in that first inning, retiring Peralta, Pollock, and Goldschmidt. And clearly, from the get-go, you can see his breaking ball has a little bit more on that tilt and bite.
There's a pitch there trying to hold up, going after it will be Lamb. Struck him out.
Saw this happen recently over in Goodyear when we saw Shoemaker. We saw Corey Kluber, who doesn't need any help in that breaking thing that he throws. Is that what he says? Just a breaking thing?
Yeah, like a sweepy thing or something. Yeah.
But saw it happening, pretty much that trend early in the game, and hopefully it will be the same case here, especially for somebody who really needs a pickup in Parker Bridwell.
He's throwing strikes here in the early going. That one's in there on Steven Souza Jr.
This is cut out of the Cole Calhoun mold right here. This guy is a gamer.
There's the next pitch, and that one is on the outside corner, so the count is 0-2. He kind of quietly hit 30 home runs last year for Tampa Bay.
Believe it or not. Had a chance to talk to him today before the game. Quite happy to now be surrounded him playing home games at Chase Field.
And there's a pitch he takes on at 0-2, and that paints the outside corner. Got him looking, and Bridwell with back-to-back strikeouts to start off the inning. 3 in a row going back to the final out last inning. And now Ketel Marte will be the next batter. He's having a good spring, hitting over 400. Switch hitter, bats from the left side. Here's the first pitch on Marte, and that one is a little bit low.
Ketel Marte is related, connected with Vladdy Guerrero. He is married to Vlad Guerrero's niece. Marte, former Seattle Mariner.
Here's the pitch, and he lines that one into right field. That's going to drop in for the game's first hit. He'll make a big turn rounding first, and then he'll move back to the bag. So 2-out single. Chris Herman, their catcher, will be the next batter. And I want to remind you, this copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. So here's Herman. He is a left-handed hitting catcher. Having a good spring, and the first pitch on him, he's taking it. Pitch misses, ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
He can drive the baseball. He's got those hands locked up. Pretty close to that back shoulder. And that short approach out to the baseball. A big attack.
There's one that's chased and missed. Well, you look at the D-backs catching situation. They have Alex Avila. They have Jeff Mathis, who began his major league career with the Angels, former first-round pick of the Angels, and then Chris Herman. So Torey Lovullo, their manager, the National League Manager of the Year, and front office have to decide what they're going to do with that situation.
Well, he said early in camp that he will not be afraid to carry 3 catchers.
Yep, and it's done from time to time.
Especially in the National League. If you have a catcher and go out there and pick you up a different glove once in a while, why not?
2 balls, 1 strike on Herman. 2 outs, runner at first, no score. And the pitch that's grounded through the right side, and heading on to third base will be Marte, and he will get there easily. And runners at the corner, so a pair of 2-out hits. And Nick Ahmed, the shortstop, will be the next batter.
All those hands short to the ball. After a long swing to begin, swing and miss, he was able to cut it down and get a better idea on how that ball was sinking or cutting away from him, from Parker Bridwell.
Chris Herman, who just got that hit, mentioned part of a trio of catchers for Arizona. He's also a guy who's played a little first base in the past. He's also played a little outfield in the past.
That's the reason he most likely will be the number 3. They sent down Anthony Recker, who was bidding for the number 3 spot as a catcher.
Here's the pitch. That's chased and missed by Ahmed, and the count, no balls and 1 strike.
Well, sir, in that respect, in the conversation, one of the most unique situations with a backup catcher, a guy that actually was number 1 in the postseason, Austin Barnes with the Dodgers, who can play second base. How about that combination?
Right. Yep.
It's pretty amazing. Catcher, second baseman.
Here's the next delivery. This is hit high in the air out to right center field. Not all that deep. Trout is waiting on it. He will squeeze it, and that's how the inning will end. So Bridwell is out of a little bit of 2-out trouble. We're headed to the bottom of the second with no score here at Tempe Diablo Stadium on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. Here we go to the bottom of the second inning. There's no score. Cole Calhoun, Andrelton Simmons, and Jeffrey Marte against the D-backs lefty Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray, look at the pecking order for the D-backs. I guess you would say their number 2 starter. Here's one that's lifted in the air and hit well in the left center field, and that is a gapper. It's going to bounce all the way out to the wall in left center. Cole Calhoun will stop at second, and that ball split Peralta and Pollock right there. Angels have their first hit today, leadoff double, and now Simmons will be the batter.
So there's an Angels on the move, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, the official freight partner of the Angels and Major League Baseball. I'll never get tired of Cole Calhoun swinging the bat the way he has. My goodness, it's been impressive. Some day one of BP in the backfields here in 2018.
That was a beautiful segue, Jose, with Angels on the move right there.
Let's make it fit. I had to get permission for Jorge first. Make sure the Angels are on the move, even though they're home, you know.
Here's the pitch.
I was given a stop sign yesterday.
There's a pitch that is taken, and the first one is a ball. The Cal 1 ball, no strikes. Simmons is 6 for 25 this spring. He's driven in 3 runs, 240 batting average for him. Here's the next pitch. That's low. And that was a good job by Herman to smother that low pitch.
Look at Paul Goldschmidt. And having a conversation with Torey Lovullo when he was with the Red Sox about positioning and defending. And he goes, if I have an athlete at first base, there's no way with a right-handed batter I'm going to keep that first baseman so close to the bag. So he is doing it pretty much against every one of the right-handed batters the Angels have thrown out there in taking away that possible base hit between first and second.
Well, he's about 35 feet off the bag over there.
Gotta love that.
And the pitch on its way. That one is taken for a called strike, and Simmons did not like that call. He questions the home plate umpire, Ramon de Jesus.
Well, he can talk to him in Spanish or in Papiamento. He can pick one. Or in English, too.
Yeah, what is it? Simmons speaks like 5 different languages, something like that?
7.
7? Oh, what, did he learn a couple more in the offseason?
Yes, he did. So change your book.
Yeah.
Put 7.
All right. 3 balls, 1 strike is the count. Infield, middle part, playing backed up. Mentioned Goldschmidt is way off the bag at first base. Outfield shading Simmons a little bit the opposite way. Ray taking a little extra time. Now the 3-1 pitch, and that is a called strike, so it's 3-2.
He totally threw off Simmons' timing there. As Cole Calhoun was trying to get Ray's attention. Threw an excellent pitch in that outer corner.
Waiting on deck for the Angels, Jeffrey Marte. We're in the second inning. Angels and D-backs, no score at the moment. And now Ray bluffing a toss to second.
Yeah, at some point he was going to get his attention, and there it is. Nice little inside spin move by Robbie Ray. Just a reactionary move, which I really like. Guys that know and understand a great feel for the game. And guy getting a big secondary. Nobody in that dugout should tell you when to go out there and pay attention, or maybe even just put a play on.
Here's the 3-2. And that one missed. Ball 4. 2 on, nobody out. Marte will be the batter. And he's having a good spring and certainly starting to force the issue as far as him being a member of the opening day roster.
Well, Marte hasn't hurt his cause, and he was hot before he got hurt. Missed a few games with a tight groin, and since then he's come back and swung the bat just as good as he was early in the spring. Also, Terry, you know what? There's a huge improvement for Marte, at least here in camp, defensively. In positioning, his feet, his arm, first and third.
Here's the pitch on Jeffrey, and that's on the outside corner. He questions the call.
Well, one Dominican to the other. Go out there, go ahead. Do it in Espanol. Nobody understand it. around the home plate.
No balls and 1 strike. Marte had a very solid season for the Angels in 2016, and then last year it just didn't go his way. 45 games with the Angels. He hit 173. Spent a lot of time at AAA Salt Lake last year as well.
Got off to a very slow start in AAA before finally turning it on a little bit.
Here's the next pitch. He chases a high one there and misses that pitch. High fastball. That was way out of the strike zone. The count's 0-2.
In fact, Jeffrey Marte was on his way to being perhaps sent down to the minor leagues to begin the season, but he lucked out on Luis Balbuena, missing the first month of the season and most of spring training with that hamstring issues that affected him from the spring all the way through the month of April.
Angels have Ohtani waiting on deck. Ray is ready. And here's the 0-2, and that's low. Good stop by the catcher Herman. I mentioned Robbie Ray, a quick worker, and he is when there's no one on base. When there are people on base, then if today is any indication, he tends to slow it down a little bit.
A little more deliberate, paying more attention to the guys on base, perhaps thinking more about what he should be going to. Combination of signs. Does a pretty good job in controlling the running game too.
One ball, 2 strikes here on Jeffrey Marte. Ray will wheel around and bluff it toss to second. So he has become a lot more deliberate with the base runners here in this second inning. 2 on. The inning started off with the Calhoun double, then the Simmons walk. Angels trying to get on the scoreboard first. Angels this spring 11-15. Here's the pitch. This is popped in the air into shallow center field. Coming in, making the grab on it is Pollock. He had time to come in. He wasn't playing that deep to begin with. That's the first out, and now Ohtani will be the next batter.
Ray has been trying to pound that fastball in on somebody and to get somebody to finally swing at it and getting jammed, and he finally got that done against Jeffrey Marte. Would not allow him to extend those big arms.
So here is Ohtani getting ready to bat. He's had 2 hits this spring. They've both been singles, 2 for 24. And at least at the start of this ball game, another game where he's facing more left-handed pitching. You've seen his share of it so far this spring. 1 out, 2 on, and the pitch on Ohtani. He takes it for a called strike. Stayed away from the hard stuff on Ohtani on the first pitch. The count 0-1. Angels 23-year-old DH and starting pitcher. Next pitch, and that is a big cut and a miss.
And also the big leg kick. I mean, against somebody as firm a thrower as Robbie Ray is, that leg needs to come down earlier. You can clearly see that leg was still in the air as that ball's traveling towards him.
So Ohtani is deep in the hole here. No balls, 2 strikes, and the next delivery, and that one he takes high for a ball. Ohtani in his 24 at-bats, 9 strikeouts, and we talked about it. He's gotten into a lot of 2-strike counts here in his at-bats this spring. He's in yet another one. 1-2 pitch, and he gets a piece of that one. He chops it right to the second baseman. Marte will throw him out at first, and the runners advance. So second and third, 2 outs. Angels need a 2-out hit from the 9-hole hitter, Martin Maldonado. Maldonado, .250 batting average this spring. Couple home runs for him. Robbie Ray, coming into this game, had been hurt by the home run ball this spring. He had given up 4 in just the 11 innings. 4 homers in his 4 starts. But I don't think the D-backs are worried about him. He is a good young left-handed starting pitcher.
He's just getting ready for a season. Another championship season for the D-backs. Playoff team last year. 93 wins, 69 losses. Beat the Colorado Rockies in the wild card game. Then beaten by the Dodgers.
Here's the pitch, and that one misses for a ball. Diamondbacks, in their 20 seasons in their franchise history, they've had winning records in 9 of the 20. World Series champs in 2001. Here's the 2-0, and that one is low, and the count jumps to 3 balls and no strikes.
Our colleague Bob Brantley, world champion, 2001, beating the Yankees. Remarkable, remarkable season.
So we'll see what happens with Maldonado with the count 3-0. He is swinging at it, and he misses it for strike 1, 3-1.
Sir, how about Goldschmidt and Marte? Have you ever seen this type of configuration on the right side of the infield? Check this out.
Yep. Not too far away from each other.
If there's a ground ball to second base, it'll be quite interesting to see the race with Goldschmidt getting back to the bag, especially if it's hit hard, as the ball's going to get to Marte very quickly.
He's about 40 feet off the bag.
My goodness.
And the 3-1 delivery, and that's fouled back. So Ray got behind 3-0 on Maldonado, and now has gotten the count full. Ian Kinsler would be up next. Next pitch will be the 40th here for Robbie Ray. So Angels are making him work, but trying to get something on the board against them. Full count. And Ray is about ready to deliver, and just when he was starting to get set, Maldonado, tired of waiting on him, backs out of the box. Arizona's record this spring, 12 wins, 11 losses, 1 tie. So it's a full count with 2 outs. Payoff delivery fouled back to our right, backing out of play, so we'll do it again. Big crowd on hand today, Tuesday afternoon baseball here at Tempe Diablo Stadium.
Oh, anytime that home club is around, the D-backs got all the following here in the Valley. They've done a great job with that ball club, the franchise. Torey Lobello, what he did and accomplished last season.
Here's the next pitch, and that's high on a 3-2. So the inning continues. Second walk in the inning, already the 3rd allowed in the game by Ray. And the Angels have them loaded for Ian Kinsler.
Robbie Ray did walk 71 batters last season, and he'll average close to 4 walks per every 9 innings. And here's another very interesting fact, Terry, that I know you like. Pretty unique. The last 2 seasons, Robbie Ray has had the same amount of strikeouts, 218, and the same amount of walks, 71. Right on the money.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, back-to-back seasons. Exact same totals.
The difference is about 12 1/3 innings more that he pitched in 2016 than last year when he threw 162. That's one stat you're not going to find a whole lot of guys matching numbers like that in different departments from one year to the next.
Pitching coach Mike Butcher, former Angels pitching coach, was out there to have a word with Robbie Ray. Now Kinsler digs in and takes the first pitch, and that one misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, the Angels have done about everything but score in this inning. Have a chance to do it. Ray has a chance to get out of the inning. So we'll see how this matchup goes against Kinsler. Here's the 1-0. That's high, nowhere close. Ray has already walked 2 of the last 4 batters in this inning, and he's fallen behind 2-0 here on Kinsler.
That's a lot of pitches. He made 18 in the first inning. His next one will be his 44th.
Calhoun, the lead runner, he's been on base a long time in this inning. He's down there at third base. He led the inning off with a double. And here's the 2-0. That's in there. Delayed call by the home plate umpire Ramon de Jesus. And now it's a 2-1 count. Ian Kinsler, now 35 years old. We've talked about his durability. He's missed only 41 games over the last 4 seasons. 2-1 pitch, and that's high, a fastball outside. 3-1, so Ray is forced to come in with a strike on the next pitch. A walk would force in a run.
Look for Ian Kinsler to absolutely let it fly here. He does not get cheated.
3-1 delivery. He walked him. It was high. Bases loaded walk. 1-0 Angels.
Oh, nice plate discipline by the Angels. This inning against a premier lefty, 15-game winner, Robbie Ray, who's just not found command, or just things will be synchronized with his mechanics and the consistency of the arm slot, not being able to get in good counts, of course, all caused by that, and put hitters away.
So he's walked 4 of the first 10 that he's faced, and here's Trout with the bases loaded, a chance to bust it open. And Trout walked his first time up, but he's thinking more than a walk here in the pitch, and a breaking ball beauty in there for a called strike.
Good job by his catcher, Chris Herman, calling something else. Let's get you back into the groove, and it doesn't necessarily mean throw your best fastball. Get a good feel out of your fingers with a breaking ball.
Simmons now the lead runner at third with the bases loaded. 0-1 pitch on Trout. That one almost hit him. It was low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. This has been a long inning here for Robbie Ray. He's hoping to minimize the damage. The Angels are hoping to make him pay for his lack of control in the inning. Here's the 1-1. Trout takes high and outside, and Ray is behind again against an Angel batter. It's 2-1. Justin Upton would be up next.
He's got to be thinking pull here. Get the barrel out.
2-1 pitch, and it's high again. A fastball misses, nowhere close. That one was about eye high. The catcher Herman had to stand up to catch that pitch. 3-1 on Trout. Well, the Angels hitter in control of this count right now with the bases loaded against Ray. We'll see what happens on the next one. And here's the 3-1. Trout took a cut at it and misses it. Full count.
Here's my best fastball in this hitter's count against the best in the game. Got it by him. Now Mike Trout, as always, goes into choke-up mode with that bat.
Here's the 3-2. Trout gets a piece of it, fouls it back just to our right. Upstairs, out of play. Robbie Ray has thrown a bunch of pitches in the inning, and now the Diamondbacks will begin to get some action in their bullpen. Trout waiting patiently for the 3-2, and he drills this ball into center field, but going back on it at the rim of the track, making the grab is Pollock, and that's how the inning will end. That ball was hit about 410 feet to dead center. It's 420 out there, and a long, loud out to end the inning. Angels get a run, leave 3 on. We're We're headed to the third. 1-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. It's a 1-0 Angels lead as we start the third. And after a long time on the mound, Robbie Ray is the first batter here, so he doesn't get much of a breather, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike.
Worked hard, minimized damage. I would say perhaps the pitches did accumulate, but Terry, he does what Robbie Ray does, minimize with men in scoring position. He is an absolute bulldog.
Here's the 1-1, and he slices that one into left field. Coming in, making the running catch is Justin Upton. Ray is retired to the opposite field. That's out number one. Robbie Ray, pretty good hitting pitcher, hit 245 last year. So the batter will be Peralta. Well, that's what separates starting pitchers in Major League Baseball, Jose. The real good ones can minimize the damage, and Ray just showed it right there, what he did against the Angels in the bottom of the second.
Can't say it enough. Make pitches. We need to really make pitches.
Yeah.
Scoring position last year against Robbie Ray, hitters hit 171, and with 2 strikes, well below, like almost 50 points below MLB average, 123 average against.
Here's the pitch, and that one is a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. David Peralta grounded out to Jeffrey Marte, who's playing first base for the Angels. That was leading off this ball game. Here comes the next pitch. He takes it a little bit high and outside from Parker Bridwell.
Yeah, it's good to see Parker Bridwell get off to a good start. That's one of the things he really did well for the Angels last year. He was good and very efficient early in the game.
3 balls and a strike. A.J. Pollock, the D-back center fielder, waiting on deck. And the 3-1. That's taken. It's right in there for a called strike, so a full count.
How good a starter was Parker Bridwell when games began in the first inning? 2.70 ERA. 208 average of the opponent and 266 on base percentage.
On the 3-2, that one a little bit low and outside. He walks him. So that is the first walk issue today by Bridwell. They have a 1-out base runner, and Pollock will be the batter. And Angel fans, don't forget the Angels will be in action against the Red Sox on Tuesday, April the 17th at the Big A. Game time will be 7:07 that night. Fans will receive an Argyle blanket courtesy of Thermador while supplies last. You can visit angels.com/promotions for details. So Pollock stepping up, popped out to Simmons his first time up. And here's the pitch, and that's taken for a called strike.
It's a beautiful job by A.J. Pollock in center field. No panic whatsoever, and that ball hit by Trout. Very elegant. And the way he goes after baseballs, and as much room as he has to cover at Chase Field, he knows exactly the angles to take.
Here's the pitch, and Pollock hits one down the third base side. Could be two. Second for one. Relay to first. It is a double play, and that's how the inning will end. Taylor made to Cozart, and the Angels wrap things up against the D-backs here in the top of the third inning. The bottom of the third is coming up. Angels up 1-0 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. Angels getting ready to bat as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Justin Upton will lead things off. And here's the first pitch, and that one is a pitch taken for a ball to count 1-0. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota, our producer engineer on the Angels Baseball Radio Network, is Jorge Sevilla. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday here from Tempe Diablo Stadium. Here's the 2-0 pitch on Upton, and he pops that one up foul over on the right side. That's going to get back and out of play. So 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Angels got a run last inning, but had a chance to get a lot more. Ended up leaving the bases loaded, and the Angels have already left 4 on base through 2 against Robbie Ray. Here's a pitch that's inside of those 4 runners left on. 3 of them have been stranded in scoring position. Little or no breeze to speak of. Beautiful day for baseball. It was 76 when we got underway, and on the 3-1 pitch, that's going to miss. Another walk issued by Robbie Ray. That's 5 already in this game against the first 12 that he's faced. Sooner or later, when you have a guy walking this many hitters, you're either going to have to cash in, or you're just not going to be able to do it against him. He's going to find a way to get out of the trouble and probably up his game a little bit more as he gets a little deeper into the action.
And offensively, you're just telling yourself, well, he's opening the door, guys. Let's find a way to get it done, because they also know when he finds it, he could be as tough as anybody on the mound. So in this case, one pitch could really make the difference for you as a hitter. Something you could square and open up things a little bit more for you.
There's Cozart at the plate, and he takes that one for a strike.
We're talking about Robbie Ray, Terry, and the aberration of having consecutive years of the exact same amount of walks, 71, exact same amount of strikeouts, 218. But look at the biggest difference here. In 2016, with those numbers, he allowed 105 runs total. Okay. Last year, he allowed 57 runs. And here's the biggest difference. With men on base 2 years ago, batters hit 303, scoring position 275. Last season, scoring position 171.
Yeah, that's what the good ones can do. The pitch, and that's lined into left center field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Upton, the lead runner, will go first to third, and hustling into second is Cozart. His bat is starting to heat up for the Angels as we're in the final week of games here in Arizona. That's a double, and almost a similar situation as an inning ago. The Angels get their first two on, had a double and a walk to start off last inning, and this inning a walk and a double to start it off.
That's where you're talking about one pitch. He's going to find that one pitch that we got to go out there and take advantage of that can make the difference in a bigger inning or not. Against lefties last year, 337 for Zach Cozart.
Here's Cole Calhoun. He led off last inning with a double. He bats here with runners at second and third, nobody out. First pitch, that's low, smothered nicely by Herman, the catcher. Cole Calhoun hitting over 400 this spring.
Chris Herman played for Dino Ebel in winter ball back in the Dominican Republic a few years ago. Team from San Pedro, the Estrellas, where Alfredo Griffin, Angels first base coach, was a star player.
Calhoun, tired of waiting on Ray, asked for time from the home plate umpire Ramon de Jesus. Here's the 1-0, and that is a breaking ball to miss low and inside.
For Cole Calhoun, as good as he has been controlling the other part of the field, this situation, infield's playing back. Bat control, the shorter the better. You pretty much have to go out there and take a two-strike approach, knowing that doesn't mean you're sacrificing power, just cutting everything down, but you are being given a chance to get a run across the board and get one over to third.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is bounced foul, just foul on the first base side. It's going to roll down that right field corner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That difference, Terry, between getting a guy like Calhoun 75, 80 RBIs and getting to the plateau of the 90 range is exactly these types of situations. Keeping it simple.
Next pitch will be number 65 today for Ray, and that one is way inside. So he's fallen behind here on Cole Calhoun. 3-1. He's already walked Upton in the inning, and he's walked 5 already in the game.
It's going to make me bring up Garrett Anderson's name again. This where GA was absolutely spectacular. He'll take the ground ball, take the ribby. Before you know, he hits 16 home runs and drives in 90 or 100 runs just like that.
3-1 pitch. Calhoun fouls that one off on the left side. That's going to get back and out of play.
That's what we were talking about Garrett last night, just a few hours ago in the broadcast, and the revolving door the Angels have had in left field since his departure.
Yeah, you ran down all those opening day starting left fielders since Garrett left, and there were other guys that saw action during all those seasons as well out there.
Something like over 40 left fielders overall.
Here's the 3-2. This one is drilled into center, and it's going to be caught by Pollock. Tagging will be both runners, and the Angels will get a sac fly on that one off the bat of Cole Calhoun, and now it's 2-0. Pollock was lucky he ended up catching that ball.
Does a good job reading. That ball is going to be coming right at you. One of the toughest plays for a center fielder, and that ball is probably just knuckling on him just a bit. Goes down to his knees. No panic again whatsoever. Gets a job done. Secures the ball number 1 and not trying to make it more spectacular than it should have been. And Cole Calhoun again. Contact, short swing, big part of the field, and there's that run.
And now we see Torey Lovullo, their manager, coming out to the mound, and they are going to make a move to the bullpen. So that will be it for Robbie Ray. Had control issues today. He will leave. We have a pitching change here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the Angels up 2-0. We'll take a break and be back with more Angels baseball in a moment on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. New pitcher for Arizona is Michael Blazek, who signed a minor league deal with the D-backs during the offseason. He spent some time last year with the Milwaukee Brewers. 5 appearances, 1 as a starter. Fastball, that's a good arm. He tops out about 96. Slider, curve, and changeup he'll feature. And his first delivery here on Simmons. That one misses outside for ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Blazek appearing in his 10th game this spring, and they've all been in relief. 12 strikeouts in 10 innings. The ERA is 4.50. Here's the next delivery, and that is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the time that Blazek was with Milwaukee last season, very limited action, under 10 innings. He was hurt by the home run ball last year.
Here in spring training, 3 home runs allowed in 10 innings, but also 12 strikeouts and only .237 average against him.
Known as a ground ball pitcher, former draft pick of the St. Louis Cardinals back in 2007. He was a 35th round pick. Numbers on Robbie Ray, the D-back starter, went 2 1/3 innings, allowing 2 hits. 2 runs, both earned. A runner at third, his property. 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. That's outside. 2-2 the count. Angels have had a lot of base runners here in the first 3 innings. Have managed the 2 runs. A fly ball deep enough to the outfield would mean a run here with Cozart at third. Only 1 out. Next one on Simmons, and on the 3-1 pitch. That one is going to be ball 4. So he has his second walk, and the Angels already with 6 walks here in the first 3 innings.
Those patient Angels showing up, and against Blazek, he must have that throughout his career in the big leagues. 123 innings, 59 walks. So a high whip of 1.46.
Here's Jeffrey Marte, who flied out to center his first at bat. Here's the pitch, and checking the swing on that one, and tipping it foul is Marte for strike 1.
The D-backs only have 35 players, Terry, left in camp. How about that?
They've been active making some moves here, paring down their roster.
6 players went down today, including former Rookie of the Year Neftali Feliz.
No balls and 2 strikes now on Marte.
Jeremy Hazelbaker got sent down.
Angels have 41 players in camp here in Tempe right now.
D-backs released lefty Antonio Bastardo.
Here's the next delivery, and that is a called 3rd strike. Got him looking. Marte trying to plead his case with the home plate umpire. Had a lot of double takes at home plate here in the early going. Out number 2, and we'll see if Ohtani can bring in Cozart, that 2-out runner over at third base.
Definitely way too close to take for Jeffrey Marte. Got to be in protection mood there.
Well, Ohtani, a left-handed hitter, is going to face a right-handed pitcher for the first time in a while.
Oh, it was about time.
Here's the delivery, and he chops this one right to the second baseman, and it's stopped there by Ketel Marte, and that's the second time Ohtani has done that today. The inning is over on a 4-3 groundout. Angels settle for 1 and end up leaving a couple runners on base. That's 6 stranded through 3. We head to the 4th. Angels have the lead, though. It's 2-0 Halos on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. First batter up here for the D-backs will be Paul Goldschmidt, their first baseman, then Jake Lamb and Steven Souza Jr. Here's the first pitch. That one is a little bit low for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes. We'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard in just a moment. It's powered by the new 2019 Jeep Cherokee. Embrace every new opportunity with a newly redesigned exterior and 31 highway MPG. You can test drive one today. Pitch was fouled back and out of play, and they count 1 ball, 1 strike. In the Cactus League, the White Sox are scoring runs. They have a 10-0 lead against Texas. That game's only in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Dodgers leading Oakland 5-1. That's in the 3rd. Pitch missed. 2nd inning. Rockies over the Brewers 1-0. And then a couple of games under the lights tonight here in Arizona. Kansas City will be hosting the Giants, and the Padres in Peoria under the lights against the Reds. Next pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 2-2.
Tough news. Dodgers and Justin Turner going to be out for a while with a fractured wrist.
Got hit by a pitch, and he's going to be sidelined for quite some time. The pitch that's lined into left field. That's going to be a leadoff hit for Goldschmidt. His first hit today. 3rd hit given up by Bridwell. And that's the first time the D-backs have had their leadoff man on against Parker Bridwell. Batter now is Jake Lamb.
Oh, they can do that a little bit. 36 home runs, 120 RBIs last year, 94 walks, 297 average. Oh, and by the way, also stole 18 bases. 966 OPS for Goldie. Terrific young man, terrific player.
There's a pitch that is taken for a strike to count 0-1. We'll check things out in the Florida Grapefruit League for you, where we do have a number of finals. Red Sox beat the Pirates 12-6. Tigers doubled up the Yankees 8-4. Nationals beat the Marlins 8-3. As the pitch is low, it skips off the glove of Maldonado, and easily advancing up to second base is going to be Goldschmidt. That's going to be scored a wild pitch against Parker Bridwell. Elsewhere in Florida today, Phillies shut out Toronto. The final was 2-0.
They scored that a wild pitch.
They did. And the other game that's over in Florida today, Mets held on and beat the Cardinals 8-7. There's one that's fouled up just to our left, backing out of play. Understand one game was rained out, and that was the Rays and the Baltimore Orioles today. Rained out in Florida. Wait, what do we hear? There's a lot of snow. Another one of those big storms hitting the East Coast.
Looks like another nor'easter.
I thought today was supposed to be the first day of spring, the first official day of spring, and heavy snow on the East Coast in parts of the East Coast today. There's a chopper foul over on the first base side.
When's the last time you recall being in Arizona for the last week of spring training and still have not hit 90 degrees in any of the starting times?
Yeah. I think we
it's crazy.
They're talking maybe Thursday we're going to hit 90. That's the rumor. Although Thursday that will be a night game for the Angels against the Dodgers in Glendale. There's a pitch that's high. 2-2 the count.
D-backs with big power. 220 home runs last year. Goldschmidt 36, and this young man right here, Jake Lamb, hit 30 of them and also drove in 105 runs. Walked 87 times. Solid all-around player.
Bridwell's 45th pitch of the day, and it's grounded foul over on the first base side, so it's a 2-2 count. Jake Lamb was an all-star last year. And an underrated player, really.
And what did his grandma say? Who's on the media guide? He needs to smile more after hitting home runs. It's a nice little nugget.
That's right. Well, you always want to take advice from your grandma.
Yes, keep her happy.
There's the pitch. Bouncing ball hit on the first base side. Bobbled by Marte. Recovers. Flips to Bridwell, who's covering first. And they'll get Lamb. Goldschmidt will move over to third. It's the first out here in the fourth inning with the Angels up 2-0. And Steven Souza Jr. will be the next batter.
Let's give a nice welcome to Commissioner Manfred, who is here today. Right next to Angels owner Artie Moreno. Making his tour around the league.
Here's Steven Souza Jr. at the plate. And the pitch, and that is a called strike on the outside corner. The D-backs are hoping that Steven Souza Jr. will take up some of the slack now with J.D. Martinez no longer with the Diamondbacks. Boy, what a second half he had for them.
Goodness.
Here we go. The pitch that's fouled back behind the plate.
What a run, Terry. I mean, historic. 29 home runs in 62 games for J.D. Martinez as a Diamondback.
Yeah.
Drove in 65 runs in those 62 games. And Souza himself, well, not too shabby. 30 home runs for the Tampa Bay Rays. J.D. Martinez ended up hitting a total of 45 home runs last year.
Here's the next pitch, and Souza Jr. takes that one on the inside part of the plate, froze him, struck him out looking for the second time today.
He complained about strike one, a breaking ball call by Ramon Jesus, and at the very end, another breaking ball by Parker Bridwell that actually backs up a bit, where Maldonado had to adjust his glove and the way he presented it to the umpire. And here's a lesson. If it's too close, as we've seen here in this game with 2 strikes, you better be protecting.
So Bridwell trying to get the final out with that runner still at third base. Batter will be Marte, who singled his first time up. Now Parker Bridwell was a guy coming into this ball game. You kind of thought you'd like to see his luck change a little bit, and so far so good today. And the first pitch way outside with that one for ball one.
I still put a lot of weight on what he did last season. I'm not going to put a whole lot of weight on his 9.2 ERA here in the Cactus League.
We never even saw him last spring training.
Oh, he joined the Angels on April 17th.
Right.
From Baltimore organization.
Yep. Here's the next delivery, and that's in there. Good off-speed pitch. 1-1 to count.
Angels general manager Billy Epler was even talking about that in regards to Blake Parker. And it applies. Regular season into now, some guys that just cannot get a feel for it. I would say the same thing about Parker Bridwell. Especially now, Terry, with knowing that no matter what or how much time it will be, Andrew Heaney is not going to continue as he battles now that elbow inflammation. So the door's open here for Parker Bridwell.
Here's the next pitch, and that was framed by Maldonado, but the Angels don't get the call on that one. That one is called a ball.
Nick Tropiano himself back in the conversation after a spectacular outing recently against Texas Rangers.
Counts 3-1. We'll see what happens on the next one, and Bridwell's delivery in there for a called strike. Bridwell has walked 1 so far in this game. In the strikeout department, he has 4. He's allowed 3 singles, no runs. They do have the runner at third, though, with 2 outs and a full count now here on Ketel Marte. He's had a solid spring, hitting over 400 for the D-backs. Hit 260 for them a year ago, and the next pitch, and that is going to miss ball 4. So a 2-out walk, pair on, and Chris Herman, their catcher today, will be the next batter. Left-handed batter. A bit of a breeze picking up now, blowing out to left center field. Another real good crowd here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. We should have over 7,000 here today. Here's a pitch taken for a called strike to count 0-1.
In the meantime, in the backfield's a lot of activity too. Many Angels are active as Albert Pujols is a DH for AAA. So is Luis Valbuena DHing for AAA. Carlos Perez is catching for AA. Nolan Fontana is playing second base in AAA. Matt Shoemaker is throwing also for AAA today.
Here's the pitch. That's low and outside. 1-1 to count.
Rene Rivera is catching Matt Shoemaker in that AAA game. And EY Jr. getting some at bats. So with the off day tomorrow, Mike Scioscia wanted to maximize as much as he could from his players and give some of them a full off day.
Here's the 1-1 way outside. That one misses. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Also slated to pitch for the Angels today, Keenan Middleton, Luke Bard, who's fighting for a spot, and Jose Alvarez among the other part of the list that serves as backup here today, all depending on how long Parker Bridwell goes out there.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Chopped on the first base side, and going down to a knee to stop it is Marte, and he just gets up and walks over to the bag. It was hit right across from first base, and that's how the inning wins. So Bridwell pitches out of some trouble here in the top of the 4th. They leave a pair on, and we are moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. Martin Maldonado will be the first batter for the Angels as Michael Blasek is getting ready to work in his second inning. He came in, got the final 2 outs for Robbie Ray last inning. Maldonado walked his first time up. 2-0 Angels as we start the bottom of the 4th. First pitch, it's cut on a miss for strike 1. That wind that was blowing out a bit to left center has died down now. Very peaceful here at the ballpark. And the next pitch, that's taken for a called strike.
Terry, how was Torey Lovullo and tired trivia memories? Memory lane today.
Yep, go back a long ways with the Diamondbacks manager, back to our days in the Yankees organization.
Still catch yourself saying he was a National League Manager of the Year.
Yep, I said that to him.
It's terrific.
He said to me, "Can you believe it?" I said, "Yes, I can."
There you go. Good.
There's a fly ball that's lifted into right field. Waiting for it to come down. Making the catch on that one is Souza. So Maldonado is set down.
I know you guys are tight, so I just want to let you know that you need to go talk to him today because the D-backs are celebrating tonight. Well, Torey Lovullo, Steven Souza Jr., Brad Boxberger, and other D-backs and players and coaches will be among the D-backs in attendance when the Phoenix Suns celebrate D-backs night tonight at Talking Stick Resort Arena, Terry, 7 p.m. Get on.
There you go.
Get in that van.
Sounds like a good event. Here's the pitch on its way, and that one is in there. Called strike. This is Ian Kinsler, the Angels leadoff man, who has driven in a run with a bases loaded walk this afternoon. He's 0 for 1 officially. He's also flied out.
Lazig now 10 appearances here in the Cactus League. Those 9 that he had coming into today were tied for the lead, and takes me to a former Angel, now a current Diamondback, Fernando Salas. Terry having a very good spring for that. He has not allowed a run in 9 appearances.
Yeah, he was a free agent that they signed.
Mike Butcher, very familiar with Fernando Salas.
Here's the pitch on its way, and that one is waved at and missed. That was not a good at bat there for Kinsler. He's a strikeout victim, and that'll be out number 2. Mike Trout will be the next batter. You were mentioning Torey Lovullo, and I remember him when he was a second baseman in the Yankees organization back in 1992. He was on a club in Columbus, Ohio, the Columbus Clippers. That team ended up winning the International League Championship, and that team's record, including their wins in the postseason, 101 wins, 51 losses.
Absolutely crazy in the minor leagues.
Yeah. Wow. And on that team was J.T. Snow, of course, who went on to become an Angel. Bernie Williams was on that team. Gerald Williams was on that team. Brad Osmus, Scott Kamenicki, Hensley Mullins, Bob Wickman, Kurt Young, the big league pitching coach. Yeah. Those are just some of the guys who ended up playing in the majors and having pretty good major league careers. Russ Springer was on that team as well. And as I mentioned, that team won 101 games in one minor league season. They don't play 162 games in the minors.
How many of those guys
in the majors?
How many of those guys that you just mentioned were at some point number 1, between 1 and 5 in top prospects in the organization?
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh? Impactful big league players.
Yeah. The manager of that team was Rick Down, who later became a major league hitting coach.
A very good one.
Yeah. 3 balls and no strikes the count here on Mike Trout. Green light, lifts one high in the air down the right field side. Chasing is Souza towards the line in foul ground. He drops the ball. Popped out of his glove. He's had a little bit of a tough day today, Steven Souza Jr. He's been up twice, and he's been called out on strikes, both at bats. And that one there should have been the final out of the inning, but he had it pop out of his glove. I don't know if they'll charge him with an error on it, though.
Had he been camping? Yes. But in that case, let's see how it goes.
Well, it looks like they're putting one up on the board as we speak. So Trout's still alive, and here's the pitch. And there's another one hit to right field in foul territory. Longer run for Souza, and he's not going to have a play on this one as it goes back to the seats a few rows back out of play.
Mike Trout trying to get that head out there because last time up with the bases loaded, he just missed going to dead central against the batter's eye, and you can see what happened. The ball just beat him slightly. Robbie Ray getting one fastball in near that leg and still went 410 feet.
Yeah, that one had a little bit more on it. Would have been a grand slam. Full count now on Trout, and he fights off another pitch, fouls it back on the right side out of play. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you're tuned in with us today on the radio side on our flagship station, Angels Radio AM 830 and the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Also on Fox Sports West and Fox Sports Arizona today. 2-0 Angels leading, and the next pitch, and Trout hits another ball into left center field that is going to be caught out there by David Peralta. He runs it down in the gap, and that's how the inning will end. So Angels end up going down 1-2-3. We're moving to the 5th inning here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
It's Ram Truck.
We go to the 5th inning, and the first pitch from Parker Bridwell right in there for strike one. It'll be Ahmed, and then the pitcher's spot, and then David Peralta slated to go here. Here's the pitch on its way, and that is a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ahmed does not have the best plate coverage outer third, but you make a mistake middle in. He has a flying open wing, and he will make you pay. Numbers wise, he's had a good spring. 321, 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, and he lifts this one in the air into left center field. Trout is chasing, so is Upton, and it'll be Justin Upton who makes the grab on that one in the gap. Got a good read off the bat of Ahmed, and that'll be the first out.
Right in that lane he was looking for it. Got to be happy to see Parker Bridwell once again going out there and doing what he got us accustomed to see last season. Among Angel starters, 13 quality starts. That led the team. Ricky Nolasco had 12. J.C. Ramirez had 11 quality starts. Also among Angel starters, he was the most economical when it comes down to pitches per inning. And Bridwell averaged 14.5 pitches per inning. So we see him more on his game at this point, which is a nice thing for Mike Scioscia and his staff to see through 64 pitches.
Ben DeLuzio is the pinch hitter, and here's the next pitch on him. That one is fouled back behind the plate. This is the pitcher's spot. The D-backs elected not to go with a DH today. 0-2 is the count on Ben DeLuzio, and the next delivery, that one is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. DeLuzio, who's from their minor league camp, has had 3 at-bats this spring and 0 for 3, couple strikeouts. And there's one that's chased and missed, and Bridwell polishes him off. That's out number 2. Parker Bridwell has picked up 5 strikeouts in this game. Now the leadoff man Peralta will bat. And fans, don't forget, you can register your little angel for the 2018 Junior Angels Kids Club for only $18. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers, a t-shirt, lunch bag, and other exclusive merchandise. Visit angels.com/Junior Angels for details. Pitch low on Peralta. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. It's taken for a called strike. 1-1 is the count. Parker Bridwell's next pitch, number 70 of the day, and here it comes. It's lined into right center. Right there waiting is Cole Calhoun, and that will end the inning. That ball's hit sharply, but right at Cole Calhoun. Quick, clean inning here for Bridwell. Bottom of the 5th is coming up. The Angels have a 2-0 lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. Get set to bat. Bottom of the 5th we go. Michael Blasek will leave the ball game, and he did a pretty good job for the D-backs. Went an inning and 2/3, did not allow any hits or runs. He walked the batter, and he had 2 strikeouts. And now they will go to their 3rd pitcher of the day. And coming in, a pitcher who spent many years in Japan, Yoshihisa Hirano. And he's ready to work here against Justin Upton, and the first delivery, that one is in there for a called strike. D-backs signed Hirano to a 2-year deal during the offseason. Last year in Japan, 3-7 record, 58 games, 29 saves, and a 2.67 ERA. And the next pitch, that one is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good slider. He has a very good split finger fastball, which is common for many of the pitchers in Japan.
He was born in Kyoto, Japan, and played for the Oryx Buffaloes back since 2007 through 2017.
There's a pitch that is chased and missed. He has struggled a bit this spring. This is his 7th appearance. No wins, 1 loss. All the appearances in relief. 7.50 ERA. 6 innings, 8 hits. A couple home runs. Hasn't walked any. Struck out 4. So Hirano's next delivery, that's waved at and missed, and down on strikes goes Upton. That's the first out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, pretty good deception there. A lot of movement, a lot of moving parts, and also big differential there for the speed. In Japan, he had years of 43 saves, 31 saves, 40 saves, 31 saves, and 29 saves, and a pretty respectable whip also in his career 11 seasons with the Buffaloes.
Here's the next delivery, and this one is lifted in the air, and this ball is really hit into left center field. It jumps out of here, a home run for Zach Cozart. Little doubt about that one. In left center. Back to the grass area where a lot of fans are taking in the action here today. Angels get a home run and have a 3-0 lead.
Number 2 in the spring here for Zach Cozart. Boy, after a slow start, maybe a 1 for 10 and 0 for 10, he has been blazing hot. He's going to make his good friend Joey Votto very proud of how he's been able to implement that approach now with the Angels.
So the batter will be Cole Calhoun. And the first pitch on Calhoun against the right-hander. That's chased and missed for strike one. They were mentioning Hirano's numbers last 4 years in Japan. He totaled 112 saves, so very reliable closer coming over now, pitching in the major leagues for the first time. Here's the delivery, and that one is taken for a strike. 0-2 the count.
Not forgetting, Terry, how important Fernando Rodney was to this playoff club last year. Rodney now with the Minnesota Twins, but the big reason why they were able to secure 93 wins was Arrowman, La Flecha, Fernando Rodney.
Next delivery, and did Calhoun go after that one on the appeal? They say he did. Struck him out. So that's the second out. A couple strikeouts here in the inning for Hirano, along with the deep home run hit by Cozart. And now the batter will be Andrelton Simmons. Hirano is 34 years old. And he celebrated his 34th birthday about a week and a half ago.
E-backs in that back end of that bullpen, looking forward to another brilliant year from Archie Bradley, and also a bounce back from Brad Boxberger.
Here's the next pitch. This is hit pretty well into left center, but circling under and making the catch is the new left fielder, DeLucio, Ben DeLucio, who came in as a pinch hitter in the top of the inning, and that'll do it. They'll make the grab. The Angels are retired, but another run for the Angels on the solo homer by Cozart. That was the only hit, and as we get set to go to the 6th inning, Angels have a 3-0 lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
Oh, I switched to Century.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. Angels have a 3-0 lead. A lot of changes defensively. We'll run those down in just a moment as A.J. Pollock takes the first pitch for a ball from Parker Bridwell. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Each team with 3 hits, but the Angels lead the D-backs 3-0. Pitch low and outside. Around the infield, new look for the Angels. Chris Carter now at first base. Jeffrey Marte, who was playing there, has moved over to third base. And the middle infield, David Fletcher is the new shortstop, and Sherman Johnson is the new second baseman. Whole new look in the outfield for the Angels. Get to it after the 2-0, and this one is lifted high in the air, and it's hit deep into left center field. It's out by the wall, and that ball is gone. A.J. Pollock gets his first home run this spring for the D-backs, and now it's a 3-1 Angels lead.
Pollock playing in only his 14th game here in the spring, and little by little trying to find that rhythm and consistency of running into a mistake by Parker Whitwell. Really put a nice charge on that one. Backside extension, hit down, and a great follow through.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt batting, and he lifts a high fly ball into right center. Battling the sun out there is Eric Young Jr., and he makes the catch right near the rim of the track. So deep out. One away here in the top of the 6th inning. The Angels outfield, Bo Way is the new left fielder. The new center fielder who just made the catch is Eric Young Jr., and the new right fielder for the Angels is Reimer Liriano. Angels have a couple of number 9s in the outfield right now, in Eric Young Jr. and in Bo Way.
If there's only 2, we're good. Because now 9 has been replaced by 56. Sometimes appears multiple times here.
There's one grounded fair right over the first base bag. Off the bat of Jake Lamb, and that ball's still rolling down in the right field corner. Lamb isn't going to stop at second. He's headed for third, and he will get there without a throw. So Jake Lamb has a 1-out triple, and they're swinging the bats a little bit in this inning. Are the D-backs a homer and a triple out of their first 3 batters in the inning.
His 3rd time around now against Bridwell is perhaps those mistakes that they were being swinging over or missing, not scoring up early in the game. They're finding a way now to do it, now that they can gauge velocity, movement, perhaps. Ball staying up in the zone. And a very dangerous team offensively.
So the batter now is Steven Souza Jr. Bridwell working with the runner at third, 1 out. Comes in with the breaking ball, and that's a called strike. He's had Souza's number so far today. He's been up twice with a pair of strikeouts looking.
Yeah, it's been a lot of breaking balls on him. D-backs fans will love Steven Souza Jr.
Here's the next pitch, and he takes that one, and that one is in there. So he's down 0-2.
And he's had a prolonged conversation pretty much all throughout the game on some of those calls with Ramon de Jesus, home plate umpire.
Here's the next delivery, and that's a little bit low and outside. Souza's always been a pretty patient hitter when he's at the plate.
He will run through a wall for his teammates.
Here's the 1-2. He hits that one foul right into his dugout over there on the third base side. One of the big moments for him in his major league career took place in 2014. Made that spectacular catch that saved Jordan Zimmerman's no-hitter that season for the Washington Nationals. Counts a ball and 2 strikes on Souza Jr. And this one is crushed into center field. Going back is Young, and that ball is gone. Smacked off the batter's eye in dead center, and it was way up there. No doubt about that home run for Steven Souza Jr., his second one this spring. And all of a sudden, this game is tied at 3.
threw some dandy breaking balls. First two at bats started him off with two very good ones this at bat, and then when he wanted to sneak something in the outer half, a little bit more speed, just not able to do it.
So they've homered twice in the inning. Luke Bard is up in the Angels bullpen. 82 pitches now in this game for Bridwell, who came into this 6th inning pitching a 3-hit shutout, but he's given up 3 hits and 3 runs in the inning, and 2 of the hits have been homers. The other hit a triple. So Bridwell could be running out of gas here. 2-0 delivery. That's bounced by the mound, and that's going to get through into center field, and that's going to be another hit. Single right up the middle. Chris Herman, the catcher, will be the next batter.
Looking for a new or used RV? Well, swing into savings with the winning team at Giant RV. See their all-star selection of famous name RVs and save thousands now. Giant RV in Montclair, Murrieta, and Colton.
Herman's had a 1-for-2 day at the plate. He could be the final batter that Bridwell faces here in this inning. We'll see how it plays out. Even if he gets him, could be it for Bridwell, and that pitch is in there for a called strike.
And he might have hit only 181 last year, but he did sock 10 home runs and 226 at bats.
Three is the score. Here's the next pitch. Off speed delivery, really fooled him right there. And the count is 0-2. Nick Ahmed, the shortstop, 8-hole hitter for D-backs, waiting on deck. Toss over to first base. Marte back. Marte has good speed, but he's not a real big base stealer. Had only 3 stolen bases in 73 games last year.
He can really move, just did not have that instinct yet in picking up things from the guys on the mound.
Here's the next pitch, lifted in the air into right center field. That is Liriano out there now, and the Angels right fielder will make the grab on that one, and that'll be the 2nd out. And sure enough, as we speculated, that's going to be it for Bridwell as Mike Socia comes out to the mound. So we will have a pitching change, and Bard was warming up. He'll probably be taking over when we get back. We have a break in the action, a pitching change here in the 6th. It's a 3-3 game. Angels and D-backs on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. New pitcher for the Angels is right-hander Luke Bard. So he replaces Parker Bridwell, who went 5 2/3. Bridwell allowed 7 hits. 3 runs all earned. The runner at first base, Marte, his property, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Wild pitch and a couple of home runs given up by Bridwell. So here is Bard trying to get the final out as he faces Ahmed. And for Luke Bard, appearance number 9. ERA is high, 7.00, and he's worked 9 innings, giving up 9 hits, 7 earned runs, allowed a couple homers. Pickoff toss over to first. Diving back goes Marte before we see a pitch here on Ahmed. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Bard is ready to come in. Here's the first one on Ahmed, and that's right in there for a called strike.
Good to see Bard being thrown right into the fire here, replacing Parker Bridwell as he's making a push to be that one Rule 5 that does make the Angels bullpen. Fastball in the 93, 96 range. Good sinking action. Slider, as you saw there, pretty sharp. He's missed a few spots up in the zone, and he's paid for it here so far in the spring.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is a little bit low. Bard pitched AA, AAA in the Twins organization. The Angels drafted him away from Minnesota in the Rule 5 December draft this past December. Bard is ready to come in. The count's 1-1. Here's the pitch, and that's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Everyone is set. Bard taking time, and the 2-1 pitch. That's in there for a called strike, so the count level. Angels off tomorrow. Camelback Ranch Thursday for the night game, and that'll be against the Dodgers. The Angels will have a minor league pitcher up from camp to pitch in that one, and Hyun-Jin Ryu will be the starting pitcher for the Dodgers in that ball game. Jaime Barria will pitch for the Angels in that game.
That's great. Throw him out there. Pretty impressive was Barria, one of the Angels' top prospects in his short stay here in big league camp. His last inning was absolutely terrific.
So the count is full. We'll see what gives on the 3-2 delivery, and this one is bounced foul on the third base side. We'll do it again. 3-2. Angels will play the Diamondbacks during the regular season, and it'll be a home and home series, Angels and D-backs. So we'll see them one more time this spring, and then 4 times during the regular season. The Angels will host the Diamondbacks for 2 games on the 18th and 19th of June. There's a little bouncing ball that's stopped on the outfield grass there by Fletcher. Is thrown at first in time, says the umpire over there, and that's how the inning will end. Nicely done by David Fletcher. He showed a strong arm there to gun down Ahmed, and that is how the inning will end.
First Carter, big pickup at first base, stayed on the bag.
So 3 in the inning for Arizona to tie it. It's a 3-3 score. Bottom of the 6th is coming up on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. As the Angels get set to bat, bottom of the 6th inning, Jeffrey Marte will lead it off against the new pitcher Colin Poche. Will take over for Hirano. And the Angels facing a lefty now, and the pitch that is chopped foul over on the third base side. No balls, 1 strike on Jeffrey Marte, who's had an 0-for-2 ball game. There's a new first baseman for the D-backs. That is Cody Decker. New catcher is John Ryan Murphy. They have a left side infield shift on here as Marte awaits the next pitch, and here it comes. It's in there for a called strike. So the count is 0-2. It's a new left fielder in the game, and that is Luis Silverio. Here's the pitch that's fouled back upstairs and out of play. Also a new center fielder, that's DeLuzio, who was playing left. He moves over and takes over in center field. There's a pitch taken by Marte for a ball. 1-2 the count. And playing in right field now is Daniel Robertson.
We know him.
Yep.
He's a former Angel. Former Ranger. Former Indian.
There's a 1-2 delivery that's chased and missed by Marte, and he is a strikeout victim for the 2nd time today. So the D-backs pitchers have racked up 7 strikeouts in this game.
So Ohtani just could not buy himself a righty.
Yep. He's going to bat now against his 2nd lefty of the day. So Ohtani is grounded out twice to second base, and here's the pitch. That one is taken for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Shohei takes, and that is in there, so he falls behind. It's now, I'll update it, the count 1 ball, 1 strike on him. Next pitch a little bit low and away. New third baseman in the game is Chris Negron. Spent a little bit of time last year with the D-backs. And the next delivery, that's chased and missed, and Ohtani has the count go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. So still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ohtani now this spring is just 2 for 26 at the plate. Next delivery, that's a flare that's going to drop into left center field. So he gets a hit. Ohtani going the opposite way on that one.
That's got to feel good. My goodness, take some weight off of those shoulders. Had a battle against another lefty, and much better plate coverage there, and using the big part of the field by Shohei.
His batting average now with that hit is at 111 this spring, and the batter will be Maldonado. 1 out, 1 on. First pitch taken for a ball.
Yeah, looking for anything like that, Terry, as his teammates have said, just to get him going. See a ball drop, have a good at bat, make better contact. Shohei has mentioned also last couple of days have better numbers against lefties in Japan than against right-handers.
There's one that's fouled off to the right.
And certainly no comparisons when it comes down to the left-handers that he faced in Japan to the left-handers he's faced here. Even in the Cactus League, it have included a guy like Robbie Ray today, and even Clayton Kershaw earlier here in the Cactus League. He's had to face Tyler Skaggs a few times in inner squats in the backfields.
Here's the next delivery. That's a pitch chase and miss. High fastball missed there by Maldonado. 1-2 on the Angels catcher. Colin Poche on the mound here for the Diamondbacks. Last name spelled P-O-C-H-E. Lob toss over to first, and back to the bag goes the Angels base runner over there, Shohei Ohtani. O'Shea is appearing in his second game for the D-backs. He had faced only 2 batters all spring. Here's the pitch. Popped up, shallow right field. Coming in with time to get under that one is the new right fielder Daniel Robertson. So it's an easy out. Maldonado flying out to right for the second time today.
O'Shea 6'3", 185-pounder. He is out of Flower Mound, Texas. Attended University of Arkansas and also Dallas Baptist. 14th round for the D-backs in 2016.
So here's Chris Carter. He's hitting out of Kinsler's leadoff spot. Ian Kinsler was 0 for 2 with an RBI walk today, and Carter misses the first pitch for strike 1.
O'Shea has also been selected in the past by the Baltimore Orioles in the 5th round back in 2012.
Lefty's next pitch, and that is low. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carter.
Pretty good numbers ERA wise for him in a couple of minor league seasons. 1.99 ERA.
Yep, nothing bad about that. Very good. Chris Carter is batting for the first time in the ball game, hitting just under 300 this spring. He's had a good spring. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up when camp breaks.
Yeah, he's a good bat to have. My goodness, he can change a game quickly, and with what he's gone through, especially last season, you know, he felt even a little embarrassed at what happened with him with the Yankees. Letting go of him, eventually signing with the Oakland A's. Did not get a call up from the A's, and changing his swing, approach, more contact. So far so good here for Chris Carter.
Here's the next pitch. That's fouled back on the right side. He's a guy who's hit 139 home runs in the majors over the last 5 years, and he's just fighting for a job right now. Signed a minor league deal with the Angels.
Time for the National League home run title 2 years ago. 41 home runs.
Mentioned he finished up in the Oakland system. He was with Nashville last year. Final 36 games with them. Did not get the call up, as Jose mentioned, and there's a swing and a miss by Carter, and he's out on strikes, and that's how the inning will end. So the Angels had a hit in the inning, and that's about it against O'Shea. They're moving to the 7th, and right now, anybody's ball game tied at 3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. We go to the 7th. It's a 3-3 game, and DeLucio is the first batter up. Lifts a fly ball out there in center field, and making the grab on it is Eric Young Jr. He battled with that sun out there, but makes the catch. He was crouching down as he grabbed that one. That's the first out. One pitch went away. Fans, don't forget to join us on Saturday, April the 21st for the 8th annual Angels Baseball Foundation 5K and Fun Run. Now, the first 5,000 registered runners will receive a race T-shirt, finisher medal, and 2 ticket vouchers good for select 2018 Angels home games. Register today at angels.com/5K. And this is Negron batting. This is his first time up. He's hitting out of David Peralta's spot. Peralta was 0 for 2 with a walk today. Here's the 1-0 on Negron, and that one is in there. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Negron just limited action, 14 games with the D-backs last year. Grounds one right to short, fielded there by Fletcher, and he will throw him out. 2 quick outs. John Ryan Murphy will be the batter. He was in 5 games last year for the D-backs. And he's an Ivy Leaguer, Jose. He went to Princeton.
Former Yankee.
Yeah. 2nd round pick of the Yankees back in 2009. There's a pitch that's inside. Head coach at Princeton baseball program, Scott Bradley.
How about that? Scott Bradley,
former big league catcher. Here's the pitch on its way, and that's in there for a called strike.
Well, the Yankees found themselves a very good catcher. Young one through the system and spending money in Latin America, and Gary Sanchez.
Here's the pitch, and Murphy hits one high in the air out there into the warning track area, but Bo Way backpedals and makes the grab, and that is how the inning went. Quick, clean inning for Luke Bard. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. It's a 3-3 game on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. Angels set to bat as we get ready now to move to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Eric Young Jr. will be the batter. some changes defensively in the infield for the D-backs. We'll get to those in just a moment. And here's the pitch, and that one high and away for ball one. New second baseman for Arizona is Kevin Medrano. The new third baseman is Marty Harum. And Chris Negron has moved from third over to short, and that ball has just bounced out of the reach of Negron and through into left field. Eric Young Jr. Leads things off in the seventh with a hit. He's had a very good spring for the Angels.
Continues to hit the ball on the ground and really utilizing his speed very well as he passes through the ball. That good swing from both sides of the plate. And interesting, Terry, that it seems like Mike Scioscia finds a way to pair up Eric Young Jr. and David Fletcher when they come into games, and here they are again.
So here's Fletcher. This is his first at bat this afternoon. He's hitting out of Upton's spot. And the first pitch, that one gets away from John Ryan Murphy, and it's going to be a wild pitch that moves the base runner Eric Young Jr. up to second base.
Exactly what Mike Scioscia is looking for from these two guys that can put the ball in play, can make some things happen, control the bat. Yes, Fletcher was already showing signs of bunting for a base hit before that pitch got away.
1 ball, no strikes to count. O'Shea with a check of second delivers, and that one on Fletcher misses for a ball.
Keep an eye on the first baseman. Cody Decker is playing as the pitch is approaching the plate. He is creeping in, so a ball hit hard to first base right in front of him is no automatic passage from second to third for Eric Young Jr.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is a pitch that misses.
That play right there, which doesn't happen very often, but Albert Pujols for years was one of those guys that scouts alerted other teams. Pujols first base, Bennett second base, nobody out. Anything hit hard, he will look to throw you out at third base, and he did it many times against many surprise base runners.
There's a pitch in there for a strike from O'Shea. O'Shea pitched at Arkansas in his college career. He actually had Tommy John left elbow surgery in his sophomore year. He then transferred from the Razorbacks to Dallas Baptist as the pitch is lifted in the air down the right side. That's going to drop foul off the bat of Fletcher.
Area where he's from in Flower Mound, just outside Dallas. Beautiful area.
He'll throw a fastball. He's topped out at 95 miles per hour at times. Slider also has a changeup. .24-year-old left-hander set. Here's the next pitch, and there's a little pop into center field. Coming in, making the grab on it is DeLucio, and that will be an easy out. So Fletcher is retired on the shallow fly ball to center.
As mentioned earlier, Matt Shoemaker getting some work done in the AAA side of things. So today, Shoemaker's report: 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 4 batters, 2 walks, and Shoe walks away with only 74 pitches. Also in that game, AAA, Albert Pujols 0 for 2, 2 sac flies, and 1 strikeout. So both getting their work in before tomorrow's scheduled off day.
Here's Reimer Liriano batting. This is his first time up, and he takes that one high. Good to hear the numbers on Shoemaker, because with the Angels in the Cactus League, ERA of over 7. He's always been a guy that seems to struggle here in Arizona during the spring.
You know, you can say AAA or AA, but those kids are amped up when they face you. They never take for granted any lineup you face here, especially in Arizona. Good to see him go out there and get some early outs, apparently, according to that line. Last time he was on the mound, though, in the Cactus League game, he was pretty sharp. Found some consistent release point. A little more moisture in the air that day, I recall. Curveball, splitter, much better.
Here's the pitch. That one breaking ball misses. 2-0 the count. It's a 3-3 ball game. Angels batting here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Talk about the D-backs there in their starting rotation, and still some concern about Zach Greinke and that groin issue, of which he says he felt really good last time he threw a bullpen session.
2-0 delivery. Chased and missed. 2-1 is the count. Bright sunshine here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Weather warming up a little bit. Gonna keep heating up into the end of the week, it looks like.
I can see somebody like Zach Godley taking a big step for the D-backs this year. Taijuan Walker, much needed. Patrick Corbin, who really took a big step last year.
This is going to be a big year for Patrick Corbin, who won a career-high 14 games last season for the D-backs, because they'll be looking at the free agent market at the end of the year. Here's the pitch, and that is chased and missed, so the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mike Butcher doing a fine job with their staff last year. ERA in the mid-3s. Even playing in that challenging ballpark for half of those games. Their bullpen, as mentioned, led by Fernando Rodney, but Archie Bradley, a key piece for them.
Here's the 2-2, and that one is chased and missed, and down on strikes goes Liriano. So that's the 3rd strikeout for O'Shea since coming in last inning. And here is Sherman Johnson getting ready for his first at bat. Johnson's hitting out of Cole Calhoun's spot in the batting order, the number 5 slot, and Calhoun had a double today, scored a run, also drove in a run with a sac fly. Here's the pitch, right in there for a called strike. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, Jose, but mentioning the free agent class at the end of the season, there's going to be some pretty good ones out there. Some real good relief pitchers available.
Big time sluggers.
Yeah. Of course, everybody talking about Bryce Harper, and from an outfield standpoint, pitching wise, Craig Kimbrell, Andrew Miller, David Robertson, Cody Allen, Kelvin Herrera.
Impactful guys.
Yeah.
Biggest question is, which kind of market are they going to find?
Right. Here's the next pitch, and that one is high. And you never know, Clayton Kershaw can opt out of his deal with the Dodgers at the end of the year.
Yeah, glad to see the Dodgers, though, a couple of weeks ago just start throwing the idea of making him a lifetime Dodger.
Yeah, Dodger for life. Heard that talk. Counts 1-2. Next one on Johnson, and he checks on that one, and the pitch is a ball. 2-2 the count. Angels had built up a 3-0 lead, but the D-backs tied things up with a 3 spot in the 6th inning, and it's 3-3 here in the 7th. Hit could mean a runner at second, and the next pitch, and that one is chased and missed. Another strikeout for O'Shea, and that's how the inning will end. So he got 2 last inning, gets 2 more here in his 2nd inning of relief. The 8th is next in a 3-3 game here at Tempe Diablo Stadium on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
Does this map
Here in the 8th inning, the Angels will go to the bullpen, and Keenan Middleton, who figures prominently in the Angels bullpen plans for this season, will get ready to work. This appearance for the Angels right-handed reliever, his 8th this spring. 1-1 record, 6.75 ERA, in 8 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 strikeouts for Middleton this spring. So Daniel Robertson will be the first batter to face him, and he's hitting out of Goldschmidt's spot. Right-hander against right-hander, and the pitch, this is popped up not far from home plate and just outside the batter's circle in foul territory behind the plate. It's caught by Martin Maldonado, so Robertson retired on 1 pitch. Cody Decker will be the next batter. This will be his first time up. He's hitting out of Jake Lamb's spot. Lamb was 1 for 3 with a triple, and he scored a run. Luke Bard ended up going an inning and a third for the Angels today, and he retired all 4 batters he faced, so a good outing for him.
Did very good job. Good slider, getting ahead in counts, and enough zip and confidence, I think, to me is a key. His mindset, you could see he was way more aggressive, not as tentative to fill that zone.
First pitch, a ball on Decker. Middleton's next delivery, and that's a fastball chased and missed.
Well, this day of missing barrels and swings and misses, nobody was better on the Angels staff than Keenan Middleton. Swings and miss percentage of 35%.
Next pitch, and Decker, who has Southern California ties, takes it. It's 2-1. He went to Santa Monica High School and played some college baseball at UCLA.
He's got a little tie in there with Torey Lovullo.
Yep.
A lot to talk about at the alma mater.
Former Bruins. Here's the next pitch, and that one there on Decker. He was checking on that one, tips it foul. 2-2 the count. We'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard. It's brought to you by the Ram 1500. It's Ram Truck Month. Hurry in for a great deal or visit ramtrucks.com to check out the powerful Ram lineup. And today here in Arizona, they're in the 8th inning. White Sox blanking Texas 10-0. Meantime, the Dodgers leading the Oakland A's 8-2. That's in the 7th as Decker chases that pitch, and he throws it by him. Struck him out.
There's that swing and miss that made him the one guy that with Mike Scioscia knew in certain matchups he needed to strike out somebody with a long swing. It was Keenan Middleton.
The Rockies have a 3-2 lead against the Brewers. That's in the 6th inning. Tonight in surprise, Royals will host the Giants under the lights, and in Peoria, the Padres will be hosting the Cincinnati Reds. Pitch in there for a called strike. Today in Florida, there was a game canceled. That was Tampa Bay against Baltimore. They were washed out, and we do have 5 finals from earlier in the day. We'll run those down in just a moment. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and this is Silverio at the plate. He pops the ball in the air into left center field, and the running catch by Bo Way in fairly shallow left center will end the inning. So a strong inning for the Angels reliever Keenan Middleton here as he sets them down 1-2-3 in the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 3-3 game, Angels and D-backs on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports. Bo Way, who will be swinging from the left side, will lead things off for the Angels against the new Diamondbacks pitcher. Keegan Long is his name. He replaces Poche. Colin Poche looked good in his 2 innings of work for Arizona. Gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, had 4 strikeouts, and he also threw a wild pitch, but a nice outing for him. And the first one on Way from the right-hander Long. He takes that pitch. It's a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch, and that's on the outside corner, called strike. Bo Way has had 1 hit in 3 at-bats with the Angels this spring. One delivery. He looks that one over, and that pitch a little bit low. Bo Way last year played at AA Mobile, AAA Salt Lake, and he combined to hit .253. Not much power. Just 1 home run last year. He can run. Had 21 stolen bases. 7th round pick of the Angels in the June 2014 draft, and he chops that one right at Decker, who will go to the bag, and that will be an easy out. First baseman.
Also all the way to first base. Good to see that. He's getting down that line so fast that Long on the mound watching the play, and all of a sudden he's speeding up out there just in case. That's what speed will do to you. Just keep you aware of so many things that could go against you defensively.
Caleb Coward is the batter. This is his first time up. He came in to take over at third base for the Angels. Coward hitting .235 this spring. And the first pitch, he takes it for a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch, and that one a little bit low as Long works here. This is his first appearance this spring for the D-backs.
Very animated out there on the mound. He has got a lot of moving parts to begin with.
Here's a pitch that misses inside.
Tap that glove. You can see him start from the windup, widely spread, and then even his plant leg, his push leg, he'll move from one side of the rubber, from the third base side, over more towards the first base side as he's coming home.
Here's the next delivery, and that one is right in there for a called strike. So, you know, this pitcher for the D-backs has a little nervous energy out there on the mound. Seeing his first action this spring up from minor league camp. Next delivery, this is lined into center. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Cowart is on. Angels have a 1-out base runner. And here is Ohtani for his 4th at bat of the day.
Caleb Cowart just a little meet the baseball type of deal without having any information on this guy on the mound. Ohtani just a few minutes ago went into the auxiliary clubhouse where the Angels have a netting set up with a batting tee for soft toss and other drills. It just gave us an indication that he was still going to get another AB here. So he's facing now a right-hander.
And here's the pitch, and that one moves him off the plate. It's inside for ball 1. Today in Florida in the Grapefruit League, Boston beat the Pirates 12-6. Tigers over the Yankees 8-3. Nationals beat the Marlins 8-3. Phillies blanked the Blue Jays 2-0. And the Mets were 8-7 winners against St. Louis. Here's a pitch that's low, and it's a 2-0 count now on Ohtani.
It's a great count for him. Hopefully build off that single he had to left center field last time up. And look for something he can go out there and drive.
Juan Gratterall is waiting on deck for the Angels. And here's the next pitch. Ohtani fouls that one back. It was an outside pitch. Just got a little piece of it fouling back to the screen. The Angels have Jose Alvarez up in the bullpen, so we'll probably see him take over for Middleton when we get to inning number 9. We're in the bottom of the 8th right now, and it is a 3-3 ball game. 3-0 delivery on Ohtani. He had the green light, and he chops another ball to second. That's the third time that that's happened today. That'll move Coward up to second base, but the Angels were looking for more than that. That's the second out. And here is Gratterall.
Folding off that pitch of that 2-0 count. Got himself a 2-1 and perhaps was looking outside again, and that time Long just went in and busted him and took his timing off again. Running a fastball in under his arms.
Let's see what happens here with Gratterall. We talk about it a lot. He likes to go after that first pitch.
I'm going on your scouting here, Terry.
All right, let's see how it plays out.
Hitting the ball pretty good.
He lays off that one.
He hurt you.
There you go. That was a fastball high and outside.
Even if you're thinking first pitch swinging, you better not be swinging at that.
I'm glad he laid off that pitch right there. We'll at least see a couple here in this at bat. 1-0 is the count on Gratterall.
Chances are, Terry, he is hacking right here.
Yep. Well, a hit could give the Angels the lead. This bottom of the 8th inning being brought to you by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in California. Rotolo is pursuing excellence every day. Visit them at rotolo.com. Here's the 1-0. He goes after that one and lifts a high fly ball into medium left center. The left fielder is there. That is Silverio to put it away, and that's how the inning will end. Angels leave a runner at second. We go to the 9th, tied at 3 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
Honda's Dream Garage.
So the Angels have a new pitcher, Jose Alvarez. He takes over for Keenan Middleton. Middleton retired 3 in a row in the top of the 8th inning with a strikeout. Alvarez will get ready to face Kevin Medrano, who's batting for the first time in the game. He took over for Ketel Marte at second base, and the first pitch he takes it for a ball to count 1 ball, no strikes. This is a lefty-lefty matchup, and the next delivery, that's low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Medrano has had 3 hits, 12 at bats this spring for the D-backs.
Jose Alvarez as consistent as anyone here in camp.
There's one that's right in there for a called strike. Yeah, you look at Alvarez's numbers, and 1.08 ERA. This is his 8th appearance this spring. 8 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, and that one is fouled back behind the plate.
There's a much tighter breaking ball, good arm speed, not slowing his body down as much, and it's all due to some things he noticed in his delivery after getting sent down a few times last year. He and Charles Nagy found some things with his kick, and that pretty much got him locked in.
There's a pitch that is taken, and the count now on Medrano runs full. It's 3-2. D-backs have a young player up from minor league camp named Matt McPherson, who looks like he's going to be batting out of the catcher's spot. And he has not had an at-bat for Arizona all spring.
And he's ready. He is ready. Huh? Look at that walk. I love this. He's got the uni. He's got the stirrups. He's got the white shoes.
So we'll see how they play it here. He could be bunting.
It's his moment.
Yep, first at bat for him this spring. So he's taking a deep breath before he goes in the batter's box. And he was showing signs of bunting and misses that one. Strike one.
All right, good idea. He's got buckled by a big league slider there first pitch.
It was an A ball last year, hit 278. Little guy Matt McPherson. No balls, one strike to count. Here's the next pitch, and boy, he was a little late getting around to bunt that one, and that pitch found his bat, and it is a foul ball.
No, there's a lesson learned. He thought it was going to be another slider because he saw first pitch there for Jose Alvarez, and Alvarez just ran a two-seamer up around his shoulders.
So it's no balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. That ball is chopped on the left side. Nice stop there by Fletcher, and he gets the out at second. Boy, that was a really good play there by David Fletcher, who continues to impress. He has done a lot of little things all spring long for the Angels, and Angels get the lead runner.
Yeah, things like that that perhaps sometimes we overlook, but just the simplicity of thinking, I have to get one out. So where's my best chance? Obviously second base, and second baseman Johnson right on the bag, and boy, it just shows a lot of maturity and calmness out there on the field. A young David Fletcher.
So that's a 6-4 fielder's choice. McPherson, the base runner over there at first, draws the throw, hustles back to the bag.
It's fun to watch McPherson get down that line. He's hoping, wow, why was not that ball hit with nobody on base, as he would have had himself a nice base hit.
Yeah, I think he thought he might get a hit out of that one, and if it wasn't for that nice play by Fletcher, he would have gotten a hit. There's another toss over to first, and McPherson goes back. The Diamondbacks farm system is not real highly rated coming into this season.
It takes a couple of picks, a couple trades, and sometimes trading away will, of course, deplete that too.
Sure. There's a pitch on the outside corner, and this is Marty Harum at the plate, and the count's 0-1 on him. First at bat for Harum today. He's hitting out of Ahmed's spot. And here's the pitch, and that one is a little bit outside. Of course, the Angels know what has happened to their farm system over the years, and right now it looks to be on the upswing, but for many years the Angels were not highly rated as far as their system, and now all of a sudden it's starting to take a turn for the better. Angels kind of rated by many middle of the pack as far as farm systems in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's a giant leap compared to the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Go back 3 or 4 years even.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is chased and missed.
And by the way, tomorrow we'll get to talk to some of those guys down there at Terry. If we do our annual Fox Sports West run through the minor leagues. Looking forward to seeing Joe Adell and Griffin Canning, Jahmai Jones again, of course, Brandon Marsh, Chris Rodriguez. and a few more of those prospects in action tomorrow.
There's one line down the left side. It is a foul ball. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jose Alvarez working with 1 out, 2 strikes on the batter. We're in the 9th inning, 3-3 the score, and that one is low for a ball. Two and 2 the count. Here's the next pitch, and that's grounded sharply. It's a fair ball out of the reach of Coward. That's going to roll all the way down near the left field corner. The runner McPherson is going to be waved home, and the throw to the plate is late. He'll score. So Harem with a double brings the runner in all the way from first base.
So McPherson slipping and sliding, stumbling around second base. And so some people pointing towards that bag actually to see if he had missed the bag around second base, but apparently not. No appeal. It was a quick bat there by Harem. Good job getting those hands down to the plane and that level of the pitch.
So the Diamondbacks will have a pinch runner come into the ball game. And at the plate is DeLuzio, and that pitch is in there for a strike. So Arizona is going to take a lead into the bottom of the 9th against the Angels. They lead it right now 4-3. Still only 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch, and that one misses for a ball. Gally Gribbs is the pinch runner, number 81, out there at second base. Here's the next pitch, and that one is taken low. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Alvarez having a little difficulty in the inning, and the pitch, it's popped in the air into right field. Long run over there, and unable to get to it is Liriano. The pinch runner is going to come in and score from second. That's Gribbs, and the D-backs now have a 2-run lead. They're up 5-3. That ball just out of the reach of Liriano as he was hustling towards the line in right field.
Well, these young D-backs doing a very fine job all throughout this inning. And all started with Alvarez opening the door and getting Medrano on base. Gave it to the young D-backs, man. What a great job in covering the plate and hitting the ball line to line.
DeLuzio getting that RBI hit, and now the batter is Negron, who's been up once with a ground out. Here's the pitch, and that's a little bit high. In this inning, they've used 2 hits, a walk, a fielder's choice to produce a couple runs. Here's the next delivery on the outside corner. That's a called strike. And the Angels bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. The 3 that are scheduled are Carter, Eric Young Jr. and David Fletcher. It's the top of the batting order. D-backs have had action in their bullpen. There's a pitch taken for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Jose Alvarez from the stretch. Runner at first goes. The pitch is missed. Throw down to second, a 1-hop throw. It's going to be late from Gratterall. So safe is DeLuzio. Down on strikes, Negron.
Games like this for these youngsters and momentum, confidence, opportunity that they're being exposed to here sometimes plays a huge role in what they take back to minor league camp and things that they're exposed to, even just the speed of the game at the big league level, and facing a guy that's a big league reliever here and doing a good job against him.
John Ryan Murphy at the plate. He takes the first pitch and misses for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Pair runs in for the D-backs. They lead it by a pair now, 5-3 here in the 9th, and the next delivery, that's outside. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the Angels Baseball Radio Network. Here's the 1-1, and it's a high fly ball lifted towards the line in right field. Circling under is Reimer Liriano, the right fielder. He'll make the grab, and that will end the inning. But some damage in the inning, 2 runs, and they did it with 2 hits and a walk. They will leave the runner on. We're headed to the bottom of the 9th. The Angels need some runs, trailing 5-3 against Arizona on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
At the Lexus Command.
Here in the bottom of the 9th inning, Chris Carter will start it off for the Angels, who trail 5-3. There's a new pitcher for the D-backs. Josh Taylor will take over. He replaces Keegan Long, who worked a scoreless inning, gave up a hit, didn't walk or strike out anyone in the 8th against the Angels. And the first pitch on Carter, that one's in there for strike 1. It's no balls and 1 strike. Taylor appearing for the 4th time this spring for Arizona, and he's worked just an inning and 2/3 so far. He has a save for them. He has not allowed any runs, and he has a chance to get a save in this game. Here's the 1-1 pitch from the lefty, and that's chased and missed. The attendance today, nice crowd. We speculated somewhere over 7,000. It's almost 8,000. 7,947. 79-47. Here's the 1-2. Little pop into shallow center. It's going to fall in for a base hit. So Chris Carter has a single, and the Angels will have the tying run coming to the plate, and Eric Young Jr. Want to remind you all season long, if there's a broken bat that occurs during the course of the game, it's brought to you by our friends at Wonderful Pistachios. Look for Wonderful Pistachios at Angel Stadium in your local grocery store or pharmacy. Now let's get cracking. So here is Eric Young Jr., who's had a hit so far. His only time up, singled back in the bottom of the 7th. Gally Cribbs has stayed in the game. He's playing shortstop, and Chris Negron, who was at third base, moved to short, has now moved back to third. So they've kept him busy in the infield today. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Next pitch, and that one is outside from the left-hander, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Taylor's next pitch, and that one misses. So the count 3-0. Jose Mota is headed downstairs. He'll be on Angels Live with Mark Gusaw on Fox Sports coming up after the game. There's a pitch that's low, and that's ball 4. So the Angels get the first 2 on to start things off here, down by a pair in the bottom of the 9th inning. David Fletcher will be the batter. The catcher John Ryan Murphy out there to have a word with Josh Taylor, trying to settle him down. First 2 getting on base safely against him. Fletcher, since coming into the game, a fly out to center field. So the left-hander Josh Taylor looking in for the sign. And here's his pitch. That is taken for a called strike. Josh Taylor, a big left-hander, 6'5", 225 pounds. He was born in Phoenix, went to Centennial High School in Peoria, here in the Valley. And the pitch, that one is low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Taylor last season pitched in the minors, rookie ball in Double-A last year, starter and reliever in Double-A last season. ERA was over 5 last season in Double-A in the Southern League for Jackson, and he misses with that one, and now the count goes to 2-1. Their bullpen is quiet. Angels hoping to get a few on the board here and try and get a comeback win at Tempe Diablo today. Down by a pair right now, but the winning run is at the plate. Here's the next pitch. That's a shot down the right side. It's a fair ball. That's going to roll all the way down near the 360 sign. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are in for the Angels, and Fletcher slides into third base, and the Angels are tied up here with Arizona. 5-5 to score. Winning run is over there at third base. Liriano is the batter. They've brought the infield in. Angels have tied it up. 90 feet away from winning it here in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the pitch on Liriano with that infield in, and that pitch is on the outside part of the plate. That is a called strike, 0-1. Big triple here in the bottom of the 9th for David Fletcher to tie the game up at 5. Here's the next pitch. Liriano chases that one and misses it. So the count is no balls, 2 strikes. Outfielder's very shallow. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. Liriano's only time up today. He struck out. Coming into the ball game this spring, hitting just over 200. The left-hander Taylor is ready. Here's the next pitch, and boy, that one didn't miss by much. Close pitch to take with 2 strikes. Pitch is called a ball. It's 1-2. The inning started off with a Chris Carter single. Eric Young Jr. walked. Fletcher tripled in both of them, and he's the winning run at third with no outs. Five the score. Here's the next pitch, and that's high. Fastball misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 25-year-old left-hander Josh Taylor struggling here. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled off on the right side. That's backing out of play. The Angels have Wade Wass waiting on deck to bat. And he could be needed here. And if he does bat, he has yet to bat all spring for the Angels. He's up from minor league camp. He's a catcher. 2-2 delivery, and that one is chased and missed. So Liriano did not do what the Angels were hoping for in that situation. With their runner at third representing the winning run, nobody out. You can win the game in a lot of different ways, but it didn't happen in that at bat. And Liriano in the dugout just snapped that bat right over his knee and snapped it in half. So here is Wade Wass getting ready to bat. Mentioned his first time up this spring for the Angels. Right-handed batter in the pitch. He takes that one high for a ball. Wade Wass, 13th round pick of the Baltimore Orioles back in 2012, and he was a catcher at AA Mobile last year in the Angels system. Played in the Arizona Fall League this past fall. Went to the University of Alabama, hit .257 with 11 home runs last year in AA. Here's the pitch. He tries to hold up on that one and went around. 1 ball, 1 strike. Angels have another young player waiting on deck, Alberto Truenfell. And he has appeared in 1 game this spring without a hit. And the pitch, that one is a little bit high. 2-1 is the count. 5-5 to score. Bottom of the 9th. Angels have scored 2 to tie it. D-backs got 2 in the bottom, or in the top of the 9th inning to take the lead, but that has disappeared. And the 2-1 delivery. It's high. It's now 3-1. A lot of pitches thrown by Taylor here in this 9th inning. Already 23 with 1 out. Those infielders all in right at the edge of the infield grass. The count's 3-1. The next pitch, and that's chased and missed. So a full count. Wass asking in the home plate umpire, did I swing at a pitch that was a strike? And seemed like he nodded he did. Any case, it's a full count on the Angels pinch hitter. We'll see what happens on the payoff. Here it comes, and he walked him. It was low. Good patient at bat there by the pinch hitter. And now the Angels have him at the corners. Of course, it also sets up a possible double play, and it looks like the Angels are going to pinch run for Wade Wass over there at first base. Brennan Lund will be the pinch runner. So Mike Socia pulling out all the stops now, and Torey Lavallo, the manager for the Diamondbacks, is headed out to the mound. They have gotten some action in their bullpen, and they are going to make a pitching change. So we have a break in the action, a pitching change coming up. The Angels have a couple in, couple on, one out. We'll see what happens when we get back on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month.
Well, there's a new pitcher for the D-backs. His name is Bud Jeter, and last season he pitched an A-ball and double-A in the D-backs organization, and the Angels have Alberto Triunfel at the plate. He's a young player from the Dominican Republic, and the first pitch on him, a ball. The count's 1 ball, no strikes. Triunfel played at Double-A Mobile last year, hit .243, 89 games, had 3 home runs. And the next pitch, he lines one into right field, and that is a walk-off game winner for that young infielder who just came in, and that is going to wrap up the ball game. Nicely done there by Triunfel. He went the opposite way. He brings in Fletcher, and the Angels have a feel-good win, getting 3 here in the bottom of the 9th inning and beating the Diamondbacks today by the final score of 6-5. Angels went into the bottom of the 9th trailing 5-3, but get the 3 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning and post the victory here today, beating the Arizona Diamondbacks. Angels have now won 3 in a row this spring, and I believe that's the first time that's happened all spring long. The Angels Cactus League record now improves to 12-15. We're going to take you down right across from the Angels dugout on the first base side. I see Mark Ubisoft standing by with Angels third base coach Dino Liebel.
Thanks, Terry. By the way, happy birthday, Dino. Perfect way to be able to spend your birthday. A little walk-off victory.
Thank you so much. That was a good win for us. Great ball game throughout the game, and that was special right there, getting the victory at the end.
Real quick, Dino, real good at patient at bats in the beginning part of the game, too. 5 walks against a very good pitcher, Robbie Ray, and some great base running again. That's what we're going to see all season long from this club, right?
Absolutely. The guys are coming. They're about ready to head west and get this season started. And just like you said, we're getting some good at bats, being patient at the plate, passing the baton to the next hitter on deck, and we're aggressive on the bases. We're going to take the first and third. Whatever the outfield, infield allows us to do, we're going to keep capitalizing on it.
Last thing, Cozart locked in right now. He's swinging the bat very well.
Absolutely. During BP, I throw to him every day, and he's you could tell that it's there. He's driving the ball to all fields. Hit a home run today, and you can see the confidence coming, and the timing is right where he needs to be.
Thanks, Dino. Enjoy your birthday, my friend.
Thanks, Scooby, for having me on.
All right, thanks. Back to you, Terry. Wrap it on up, my friend.
All right, Mark Ubasal and the birthday boy, Dino Ebel, the Angels third base coach. Well, a nice win for the Angels. You always like to see a team come back and win it in the bottom of the ninth inning, and that's exactly what the Angels did today, posting a 6-5 win here against the Diamondbacks. These two teams will be back at it here at Tempe Diablo Stadium coming up on Saturday afternoon, and that'll wrap up the Cactus League for the Angels here in Arizona. I want to thank you for joining us here for Angel Spring Training Baseball on this Tuesday. For those of you watching on Fox Sports, Jose Mota and Mark Ubasal will have a lot more post-game analysis on Angels Live. On the radio side, we'll be back with you in a couple minutes as well and have some post-game coverage on our flagship station, Angels Radio AM 830. Again, the final today, Angels over the D-backs 6-5. Thanks for joining us on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.